how's everybody doing out there? YDBT Daily coming at you every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when I can. I try to be consistent as hell. It's one of the more consistent shows. We've been shows 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Peasant Chat on Sunday morning. Today we're going to talk about Trump saying he is going to absolutely slash any EV mandate that the Biden administration put in while they were in power. A lot of you that saw me talk about the potential downfall of basically no new ICE cars being built after a certain year, or no new cars, or having ridiculously, high fuel mileage standards, is going to force people to go EV. And then we had trouble about the grid. We talk about the grid, how the grid couldn't handle it. You can't really make people buy something unless you're subsidizing it. Subsidizing means you're paying them, or at least you're giving them a tax credit of about $7,500 in order to buy an EV. So a lot of people were taking advantage of the tax credit. But now that tax credit is going to go away probably within the first week of Trump taking office. Now, someone like me wouldn't buy a car because of a tax credit. And if I would buy an EV specifically, it would have to be a performance model. My life is performance cars, so I couldn't be caught dead in a Model 3, X, unless it was a Plaid or a Y. And if they make a Y Plaid, that would be pretty badass, but I don't think they will. So he is going to undo all of the mandates that the Biden administration put in for EVs. Now, what's that going to do to the manufacturers? Because we'll talk about that. I can get off into the intro way a little too hardcore, but we're going to talk about what the manufacturers have to do in order for them to tool their companies for the supposed oncoming EV stuff. EV sales were slowing down before the election. Go look. The EV sales were slumping. The economy was tanking. They only made they only added like 20,000 jobs in the last quarter or some shit, like a really ridiculously low number. And EV sales were dipping super hardcore. Now that the tax credit goes away, it won't hurt Tesla, because Tesla has a pretty good car on its own. But what will that do to all of the other EV manufacturers? We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck. But you know what doesn't suck? D&H Performance, D&HPerformance.com. If you spend we'll talk about that. Once I get done with the sponsors, I'm going to tell you something special that D&H Performance is doing. If you spend $1,000 in the next couple of months on their website, D&H Performance, PMAS, take James and PMAS. He's going to start making some videos, some technical data videos on his flow bench and how he pretty much characterizes some of the mass airflow sensors and cold air intakes that he makes. Check him out, Nick Walcott on Facebook, PMAS. Parts Farm, PartsFarm.com. Parts Farm is the best used parts house. You want to find a 6R80 Bryson Witt, you go to Parts Farm. You want to find a crank and pallet, you go to Parts Farm. You want to get a complete situation where you get motor, trans, and a control pack, you go to PartsFarm.com. 2 Auto Solution, Rami down on Twitter. This is the best late model shop in Puerto Rico. If you want to fuck with Mustangs and some Chevy stuff, you fuck with Chevy stuff, not super heavy, but I prefer you go there and bring your Mustang to the kid and get taken care of in Puerto Rico. And Bellac. If you want to let every cop know that you sell drugs, you got to get yourself a set of Bellacs, and then you're going to be self-snitching all day, every day. So real quick, let me go over here to Gmail, and D&H Performance proposed something to me. We'll talk about D&H Performance, and we'll talk about Rich Prince. Rich Prince is also they're doing wonderful things. So D&H Performance approached me today, and he said, "Hey Alex, what do you think about adding a tumbler to every order over $1,000?" I said, yeah, bro, like do it up. He just sent this to me. This is the extra large tumbler, has the Amory 2024 and the current sponsors on the tumbler. So anytime you spend $1,000 or more on DNAHperformance.com, he's going to throw one of these in a box. Mention the show. Please mention the show. Make sure you mention the show. Mention the Amory. Mention that you want a mug. So if you're going to buy a fuel system, wheels, tires, injectors, anywhere, he's going to be competitive with pricing. Just make sure that you go ahead and remember that He is supporting the Amory Hardcore. He's a sponsor of the show. So if you're about to buy some parts, I would highly suggest you hit him up and, let him know that you want to fucks with the tumblers. Also, ridgeprints.com, USA, / collections, YDBT. You're going to go there. You're going to buy hats. You're going to buy Section 8 shirts, sweaters, hoodies, long sleeve t-shirts, FCAM Rizzy. I love that. I should buy myself an FCAM Rizzy shirt. Show me the receipts. I've got to make a big order soon. So he's got a bunch of stuff, some camo stuff, YDBT graffiti. I'm going to buy like 4 of these and a bunch of these dark colors and hoodies because it's going to get a little cool down here. So might as well stock up for the winter. So check them out. I think, they support me big time, and they approached me about doing shirts just so that, you guys can get some merch. And I said, bro, just run with it and we can go ahead and party. Let's say hi to the people here, and we'll talk about the EV mandate stuff because it is a little interesting if Trump does go ahead and does away with the EV mandates. Joe Swish, Nick, Monty 540, Dixon, Clean 93 GT, Leon Phillips, one of our chair 3 times, B. Lavesh, Clean 93 GT, Z303, Camzilla, Ray, Stuart D, Joe Jackson, Kim Phillips, Joe Jackson again, Cody Jones, 50 Stallion, Valley 10 Speed. Good morning. Bryson Witt dropping the links. Slow 99, Clint Stroke, CJM, Michael Rodriguez. Good evening, says Wesley Stewart. 5150 Capri says good evening, Amory. Anxiety Coyote. Douchdown, SVT miles per hour, which I think is the guy that has the 11 to 12 GT500 who's been in the 9s. So we'll see if he can separate on a drag radial and see if he can get, I hope you have a slipper clutch, a slipper device on the pedal, SVT at mile per hour. Harley Jetslet, El Verga Larga, Gregory Ovich, Nathan, one of our RTR, Blue Thunder, Robo Style, Kim Phillips, Sabrina. No way, that's the real thing. There is no way that's the real Sabrina Gross. No freaking way. If it is, that would be hilarious. John Jones, Douche Machina, Mark Christensen, Nardi Mercado, Mustang Dennis, Ants 19 Coyote, Toby Cockring, JD Swag, Bryson Witt, Luber King, Phil Fez, Luber King, JD Swag, Blue Thunder, Bryson Witt, Josue, Louis Lou, Joshua Ramos, Christian Durant, Timmy T, Boxy Luxury, Toby Cockring again, Cardi Cramler, Jordan Willington, and all the usual suspects. JD Bruce, Amir, Mr. Whipple, Jordan, Leadfoot, Ali, No Aimi, Mr. Whipple, Treehound, Slick, Vic. What if it is Alex? I would be mind blown if that's the real Sabrina Gross. I would actually be mind blown because I'm like, why aren't they texting me? Because they got my number. Interesting situation there. So let's talk about the Reuters. Reuters came out with a story today that actually kind of blew my mind. I was like, really? This is happening? Yes. Well, I was advised on Instagram about it. Exclusive. Trump's transition team aims to kill Biden EV tax credit. By Jarrett Renshaw, Chris Kirkham, and Noah Eckert. So this is the summary. Trump transition team plans to end the EV tax credit. Guys, this is massive. You guys don't understand. This is a huge fucking deal. Okay, the last administration was all in on EV, and all of the people that had to basically succumb to the whims of the administration, Ford, Chevy alike, they had to retool their plans. Completely retool their plans to support EV bullshit. Tesla representatives supported the proposal to end subsidy. Trump's team, led by oil executive Harold Hamm, targets some Biden clean energy policies. Republicans plan to use reconciliation to pass tax reform without Democrats. I love it. President-elect Donald Trump transition team is planning to kill the $7,500 consumer tax credit electric vehicle purchases as part of the broader tax reform legislation. 2 sources with direct knowledge of the matter told Reuters. And ending the tax credit could have grave implications for an already stalling U.S. EV transition. And representatives of Tesla, by far the nation's biggest EV maker, have told Trump Transition Committee that they support ending the subsidy, said the 2 sources, speaking on conditions of anonymity. What does that mean? Tesla wants the U.S. to get their finger off of the favoritism scale. So let's say, for instance, you have 2 competing companies, Ford, Tesla, and you are not giving subsidies. People are going to buy the Tesla, period. And if they have a Model Y at, $45,000, a Mach-E GT at $47,000, but you get a $7,500 tax credit on the Mach-E GT, guess what? You're going to buy the one that's cheaper and gives you, especially if it's a round town vehicle. So Tesla aims to gain from then getting rid of this subsidy because no longer do you have an excuse to buy it from anyone else but Tesla. Tesla CEO Elon Musk, one of Trump's biggest backers of the world's richest person, said in July that killing the subsidy might slightly hurt Tesla's sales, but would be devastating to its U.S. EV competitors, which include legacy automakers such as General Motors. Shares of Tesla repealing the subsidy, a signature measure of the Democratic is being discussed in meetings by an energy policy transition team led by billionaire oilman Harold Hamm, founder of Continental Resources, and Republican North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. The two said. The group has met many times since Trump November 5 election victory, including his Florida Mar-a-Lago club, where Musk has spent considerable time since the election. Guys, this is so big. You have no idea how the implications of this is pretty ridiculous. So imagine you are now Ford, Chevy, and all those people. And all of a sudden, they go ahead and they're retooling plants. They're buying property. They're working with contemporary Amperex technology to get themselves batteries. And then the mandate goes away. The mandate just goes away. So they go, wait a minute. Now we can't count on the government, and the government basically giving us a leg up, subsidizing the EV stuff, because what was happening is a lot of government money was being given to these companies if they were going to retool for something. Now, Ford specifically went out of their way to work with China on this EV stuff, and they're all in. And I think they're going to push through no matter what, which I think is a huge mistake, because depending on the administration and how they view the economy, pretty much dictates how everything else goes. So if you have a friendly administration that's oil friendly, ice friendly, and fossil fuels friendly, it's really the layer of the Earth's core bleeding up to whatever. We talked about that before. It's not dinosaur bones and plants, because that's crazy talk. But whatever, what the fuck do I know? So if you have an administration that's friendly to that, you're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna keep making ice cars. And I feel I feel okay, and I feel, let's just say, secure in the fact that ICE is going to be around forever, but you should make EV vehicles if the people want it. The market determines what the automakers should do. The market determines everything. You can't force the market into something. That's called socialism. That's called, I don't know if it's fascism technically, but if you make the people buy something, or if you give them no option, then what you're doing is it's not a free market. You're literally tipping the scales in favor of EVs. And we all know, if we live in shitty ass towns, that there is no freaking way that a grid is going to be able to handle everyone charging at the same time at night. Now, bigger cities, completely different if you understand how the grid works. Okay, if you understand how the grid works, it's not a big problem. If you're rural and you're psycho, you got to get solar panels for your house, a Tesla Powerwall, all that stuff. And all that is going to cost you big fucking money. And the only way people were doing that was with subsidies. Welfare. It's all it is. It's the government literally helping you out. Me. So my tax dollars are going to help something that is killing my industry. I'm going to be a little bit upset about that. And luckily, the nation said, enough of the cutting the kids' dicks off, enough of the bullshit. Let's just slow this the fuck down, and let's have common sense come into play. Now, I don't think that all of a sudden Ford's going to go, oh, Trump's in town, let's make the Cobra again, which they might, but it's going to be tamed down, gas particulate filter, who the fuck knows what else is going to happen. But Toyota, that's right, I think Toyota took the right route. They were literally fighting back against EV stuff because they said, we're going to give the people what they want. We're not going to shove EVs down their throat. So what they started doing is making, I know you guys are down on some of the Corolla stuff, and some of the things are breaking up, and some of the Toyota 3.5 twin turbo trucks are eating themselves. But welcome to making cars in 2024. Absolute garbage. So I think what it's going to do, it's going to give them at least 4 more years of saying, okay, whoa. Let's not go hardcore on this building, on this battery plant, on this deal. Let's stall shit. And let's see. So imagine Trump gets in and strokes from a stroke of a pen. People are drilling, people are fracking, people are doing everything. And then the price of gasoline goes under $2 for 93 octane. If it goes under $2 in 2024 for 93 octane, at any point during the Trump administration, you will see a booming, crazy, psychotic economy. Now, why is that? Because you need to get everything done in the first 2 years because there are midterm elections. The United States is full of retards. What they do is they elect a fully conservative or Democratic or liberal government, and they give them 2 years. And the report card is the midterms. The midterms show up and all of a sudden they go, oh, we're going to flip the House and the Senate back to, and then now the president has no balls and he can't get anything done. He has all three. The executive and the House, no, executive is the same thing. The presidency, the House and the Senate, they have all three. You're probably not going to see this again for a very long time. It's time to stop fucking around. And you see his appointments are pretty much like revenge appointments. So my concern is the EPA. You have to neuter the ever-living shit out of that organization. And also, like FDA, and you saw that they're doing stuff with food. But again, on the car front, aftermarket parts companies will now invest more in tooling. They'll make more headers. They'll buy more materials. Or if materials become cheaper to buy in the US instead of importing them from China, Taiwan, or wherever, I think you're going to see the ICE and the racing and the automotive aftermarket really pick up, but I give it 2 years. And if Trump doesn't make big freaking waves in 2 years, I think he's doomed to lose the House and the Senate if he doesn't literally like just reform you got 18 months, bro, not even 2 years, because people start campaigning. And once you're in campaign mode, you can't really count on anything. So the first 18 months of his administration, if he starts stroking the pen and starts killing the EPA, starts killing EV programs, start letting drill baby drill, you're going to see something special coming out of the market. And I think the automotive performance and aftermarket industry is going to be very robust. We're gearing up for it. Like, we're gearing up. We're making sure that we can support anyone and everyone. I foresee, if this is the final death throes of this industry, I foresee the busiest 2 years coming up ever for tuning, swaps, parts. It's going to be a good time. So hopefully the optimism stays high and we can get back into some ICE stuff, because this might be the last shot. This might be it. Because I don't know that Vance is going to continue his policies. I don't know if Vance is going to stab him in the back. And then I don't know if Vivek is going to get in there or DeSantis is going to get in there and do some shit. I don't know. But I'm not an optimist that way, but he's in now, or he's going to be in. So for the next 4 years, specifically first 18 months, is going to tell us a lot of what the economy is going to do. We got some super chats here. Austin Maynard said, long time no see. Since when does 5-star tuning boosted coyotes? Never heard of that. The Poors are eating up the Black Friday deals, and the Lund haters came out when I talked shit on them. I wouldn't talk shit on 5-star. I understand the pie is massive. The pie is huge. If 5-star wants to get into tuning, no problem. The thing is, don't say Lund Racing fucking sucks. Because I suspect in about a month, the pie for everybody else is going to shrink considerably because of one specific move. I'm not going to talk about it. What's it say here? Don't call me poor, says Joseph Lacey. No more EV shoved up the backside. Happy camper. Louis Lou, $5. Thank you so much for the $5. Yeah, the Supreme Court's going to be interesting. There's going to be a couple of people that probably are going to retire. And if he can he should do what the Democrats wanted to do. He should pack the Supreme Court. He should say, we should get more justices in there. We should get more people in there. We should absolutely get after it. But I don't think he's going to do that because that's what the Democrats wanted to do. And if you thought homie got shot before because he was running, imagine if he starts packing the Supreme Court and getting rid of the filibuster. Oh, brother. Do what the Democrats wanted to do. It'll piss them off so much. So now let's talk about this, because somebody was asking me this question. I saw a reel on Instagram and somebody said, Orale Holmes, you got to get yourself a Gen 3 Mustang. It's the best one ever. And the guy was younger. I want to say maybe a late millennial, early Gen Zer. And I was like, he's wrong. But then I have to look at it from his lens. And a lot of the people here are young guys. A lot of people here are very young people. And I have to see the world through your eyes. They're retarded and probably vape oil all up in your shit, but I need to understand you. So a lot of you younger guys, I want to say late millennials, early Gen Zers, they look at the Gen 3 Mustang as the holy grail of Mustangs. Because all they see on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook is Gen 3 Mustangs rolling out. And anytime you see a Gen 3 Mustang versus a Gen 2 Mustang with minimal modifications, the Gen 3 Mustang literally walks it. So people go, Alex is wrong when he says the Gen 2 Mustang is better. And then I go, but wait a minute. Are we modding the car or are we keeping it kind of stock? So I don't mind diving into that conversation. Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3 Mustang. Hell, even Gen 4. Because now you're getting custom tuning. That's right. I saw a data log of a Gen 4 Whipple Mustang with race gas seeing 16 PSI with 20 degrees of spark advance. That is a custom tune, gentlemen. So Whipple is custom tuning. Tipping the scale. So if you want to go 8s, tell them you want the stage 3 race tune. It is 20 degrees of spark advance. Oh, by the way, the injectors are done. That's right. The injectors are done. 0.85 lambda at 16 PSI. Se acabó el party con esos inyectores. So they're doing custom tuning. So let's talk about that. If you're getting into the Mustang game from Camaro or whatever else, if you want to go fast for cheap money, because a Gen 2 Mustang is a little pricey and you can't really get financing for a almost 10-year-old car. Or if you can, it's high interest rate. But you can walk into a dealership right now and get a 23 Mustang and get decent interest rate. It's a 2-year-old car because it came out in late 22. And you can get into a 10 or 80 car. Now, if you're broke, but you can afford a car payment, I would say get a Gen 3. With the understanding that the 10R80 is going to be wonky. So get that in your head. That 10R80 will be wonky. There is no way around that. I don't give a fuck who tries to, unless you're an engineer type and you're going to the valve body matrix and the bullshit, I don't think there's really a way of bulletproofing the 10R80 without seeing shenanigans. But, wow, Jesus. But shenanigans I think will happen no matter what. So if you want to go cheap and fast, if you want to go fast forward, the cheapest, I think 10R80 is the way to go. What's up, Chuck Zuzerzinski? Says hello, hello, hello. It's a little too much. 3 is a little much. Hello, hello is good, but hello, hello, hello is sounds like you're, weird. So you need to understand that the young guys are going to go for the Gen 3. Now, if you want to grow and go into the 8s, let's just go 8s because 8s are the new 9s. 9s are easy. 8s. You and I both know that 10R80 is going to leave the chat really soon. It's going to be gone. So you're going to have to consider paying $6,000 to $7,000 every year, depending on how much you race it, for a built 10R80 if you race it at the track. If you roll race it, not that big of a deal because I think the street having less grip actually helps the 10R80. But if you want to go racing, I think you got to shove a turbo 400 in that bitch ASAP. If you're a roll guy, if you're a street guy, you don't have to worry about it. I say yes, definitely go with the 10R80. Understanding that the 10R80 is going to be wonky. But if you want to go racing in a modern chassis, Gen 2. If you want to get really stupid and aggressive, build the Gen 1. Why is that? The Gen 1's a little lighter. The Gen 1 has a solid rear axle. The Gen 1 generally, if you have the money to build the motor, trans, and get after it with the tuning and fuel system, you can go further because the IRS is going to become a problem. You're going to have to buy axles. You're going to have to embrace the shit out of it. It's going to be a little more expensive to run that one. So there's a bit of a juggling act you need to be doing if you're considering going fast. Again, looking at it from the lens of a late millennial, early Gen Zer, I think the Gen 3 is the better buy. Absolutely. Gen 3, and this is what I tell every single guy in my list. And if you are on my list, you have heard these words. I would just put a cold air E85 in headers and save for boost. ESS being a very good option. Vortec and ProCharger also, as long as you don't mind replacing the crank eventually with the ProCharger. Or a Whipple, or a E-Force, or a Odin. I think you really should save for boost because what you're going to do is you're going to chase your tail chasing after the NA game when you have diminishing gains. How much is a ported, and again, nothing against you, 1320 Junkie. I think you do great work and you're a great person. But how much is a ported manifold? $500? A ported manifold, $500. How much horsepower have you seen on a, let's say, free-flowing exhaust PMAS car with a stock 18 manifold? Then you install A race-ported manifold, how much power do you see at the rear wheel? I've never seen more than 10, personally. Now, that's 10 horsepower for, $500. I get that. But you have to make the choice whether that's worth it for you or not. And if it's worth it for you, get after it. Dale pa' abajo. I don't care. But if I were you, I would just save my money, drive the car, NA with bolt-ons, cold air, E85 and headers, and then shove some boost in the sucker. And if you want to go centrifugal and then port the manifold, I think that's an even better way of doing it. So that 1320 junkie doesn't get mad at me. So if you want to port the manifold after you've boosted it, a centrifugal, cool. Nothing wrong with that. Or turbo. But I think you should really save for boost if you're going to try to get after it. Because for the amount of money that you got to put into the car to go 9s, that money can probably make the boosted car go high 8s. It's pretty crazy how all that. Chuck says, I think about 20 horsepower stock Gen 3 to ported NA. That would be a first. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I personally have not seen that. And Chuck says, yes, it is worth it, turbo or Sentry. But if you go Whipple, it's a wasted effort. No shit. Vic, there is no inside knowledge as to when the Gen 4 is tunable. If you saw that, what the fuck? If you remember and you saw the John Lund Sr. interview, what I did on the chat of last week's YDBT Daily or week before YDBT Daily, I made sure that the segment where Senior came in for 40 minutes, which I appreciate so much. The fact that he was willing to come upstairs and just talk to us, it was awesome. I protect him. I do. I don't want him in this world because he gets after it. Like, he doesn't like people talking shit about him. So I'm like, bro, don't get in this world. I got you. I'm like, but he wanted to come up. He's the boss man. I'm in his home. Come on in, say some words. He said if it is tunable, I am buying a 24 Mustang. You guys need to understand this. The moment the 24 Mustang becomes tunable, Lund Racing buys it. Why do they buy it? Why does Lund Racing buy the vehicle that they want to tune? They don't wait for someone else to tune it and then, makes its way down the pipeline. Nope, they tune it themselves. John Jr. gets the car, brings it home, does some logging, uses it for 3 or 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden he goes, this is version 32, because I've flashed it 32 times, and this tune works very well on NA cars, and we're going to do an E85 tune, and we're going to work our way up. So, when Lund Racing has a 24 Mustang show up on their website, on their pages, on the Lund Racing Facebook page, Instagram, or the customer group, you now know it is tunable. And do we want it to be tunable? Of course. Because we just want to get that money. We need more F slurs live, Alex. That's what I mean when I'm saying I'm trying to protect him, because I love the dude. He's great. He's a great man. Literally got me out of poverty. I've done everything out of respect out of the dude. I'll do whatever for him. Right now we're in the middle of like hammering away from some changes that are coming, and I expect my ass to be busy as shit. So what I've done is I've come in early every day. Come in, meaning I sit here early and I hammer away, and I want my list to be at 0 by fucking noontime or 1 o'clock, and then I babysit tickets the rest of the day. And if that requires me working an hour earlier and an hour later, I'll do it. I'll do it because who knows how long we have to tune. That's the way I look at it. I don't sit here complacent and sit here and go, I got this job for another 20 years. Fuck no. I go, this can end tomorrow. Senior could go, bro, I don't want to do this no more. And Junior could just make whatever money he wants to do. This is a family-owned business. It's Lund Racing. So they can just say, Alex, bro, we're done. I just want to fly and fucking hang out and just go to, hang out with my friends. And this is too much bullshit. We got our money. Junior's going to do his own thing. And I'm like, bro, I get it. Just let me get some of these files from my own cars. I mean, I got them, but I would still ask. How do you dial in a customer car? Own it, tune it, dominate, and sell, says Ken Phillips. Michael Weatherby says to Phil Fez something. Don't be pulling up on the Lund 10 scooter. That's funny. We need more F slurs. That was funny. Damn, I wish you were my employee, Chris V. You got to understand. Anyone can talk. See, that's why I don't like pumping. I love pumping my own tires. But I don't think anybody outworks me. Maybe Junior. Not necessarily in our company, just in general. I go to the gym every day. I work on my cars when I have time. I work here on the side hustle and I have a regular job. So a lot of people go, how the fuck do you get all that shit done? I'm like, I don't know. And I still sometimes find myself like bored. So that's why I bought myself a 2-ton electric chain fall today. Why? Why did I buy myself a 2-ton electric chain fall and a gantry crane? I bought a gantry crane and an electric chain fall because I don't want to use the freaking stupid engine hoist anymore because the Corvette has such a long fucking nose. When I was putting the actual Coyote motor in it was a problem. And I said, you know what? A gantry crane would be so baller. So it took me a while to find a gantry crane that was under 7'7". I have to take the casters off to make it like 7 feet. And then I said, I don't want one of those chain falls that are hand operated. I want an electric one that I can just be under the car and I can bring the motor down inch by inch, and I have to mate the torque tube input shaft into the clutch. And that's what I'm going to do just to practice what it is like to put the motor in and out of the car. So I want to perfect that. I want to do that. I want to try these motor mounts you guys are going to love. Again, the video is just like a long thing. I have to kind of figure out how to make it, but I want to make sure everything is in the car, and then I can make video of the install and tell you how I did everything, and I'm taking video along the way. So guys, like, a lot of the times I'm just waiting for parts. A lot of the times I'm waiting for good weather. A lot of times I'm waiting for the transmission to come back. So I'm going to give you Donnie videos. Donnie needs to go 11.9 or 11.8 NA. And then we're going to put some suspension on it, go to Thunder, do the whole thing, NA, and then let's get after some boost because that car has to get boosted and be in the 10s and 9s either early next year or late this year. Going to be doing diesel swaps. That's funny. You want your Roush manifold ported and the bypass area removed, you'll see a small pickup increase in IAT2, but with the port, you'll pick up power, of course. Wait, so you're saying Lund doesn't use the Mustang? So, again, Senior made the best point of like, oh, all of a sudden somebody was doing nothing, and they, poof, all of a sudden tuned Coyotes, a very difficult platform. I'm very happy he said that. It's bullshit. It's 100% bullshit that people are out there getting away with it. That's the thing, getting away with it. And literally looking in the mirror and saying, yeah, I'm a tuner. You're not a fucking tuner. You fucking psycho. I'm not a tuner. I don't go around. My talent is teaching. I can at least disseminate the information to the dum-dums. And I'm dumb. And I need it explained to me like I'm dumb. So I go, wait a minute. This is how I need to figure it out. And once it makes sense in my head, I go, I can talk to the people this way. And that's my talent, talking. My talent is not tuning. I'm like, my lack of, and again, tuning does not necessarily mean programming. Programming and tuning are two different things. I'm a good tuner, meaning when I send a vetted base file out and it comes back wonky as fuck, I can say, check this, and this. And the customer goes, God damn it, you were right. How did you know? The cold air was loose. How did you know Bank 2 had an exhaust leak? Experience. I bought the platform. I've driven it. I know if there's a rev hang issue. I know how to cure an idle dip issue. I know when the cams revert, it almost stalls. I know if you're close to needing an oil change. That's tuning. That's the fine tuning. The base file is the base file. Adding timing, putting on the dyno, making power. That's the easiest shit on the planet. But the why and understanding the why is where the sauce is. And in your mom's cunt. Cool. Finally, someone who could give a straight answer. Thank you kindly. My bad. I thought you were someone else. Says Cayobro Souza. If you want your, we got that. Cost of renting 3 garages compared to warehouse shop space. So I pay $175 each garage. $175 each garage. That's $350, $400, $425 extra a month. $475. So, see, I'm not 175 times 3. Well, 525. So 525. Nowhere can you find a garage for $525 a month that you can put 3 cars in Palm Beach County. My buddy is selling his 4R200 and converter. You can ride in it, feel it shift. If you're in Fresno, DM me if interested. Are you? Okay. Oh, that's cocaine white cocaine white 50, cocaine yayo 50. Why does it gotta be like, why can't you say the white 5.0? Cocaine 5.0. Does anyone call their brown Mustang heroin? Fentanyl? Shit. Child trafficking. Why don't you call your car child trafficking? See how that goes. My buddy, the names. Tuning without owning the platform makes no sense. Why should I trust you then? Cobra 460 deal. Speaking of 24 Mustangs, would you predict that the Gen 4 Coyote be better or worse than the Gen 3? Same, but different, but still same. Bing bang bong Aliao. Gotcha. That counting was brutal. It was awful. This is awful. That's how I do it. That's why I don't like percentages. I think percentages are fucking dumb. When someone says 200% more, I go 2 times. No, it's 200%. Okay, so 1.25 is 25%. 1.5 is 50%. Why don't you just say 2 times instead of 200%? Like I heard a figure the other day on Fox News. Did you know that border crossings are up 15 million%? I went, oh. I can't. Just speak like a normal person. Speak like a normal. Blanco 5-0. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. How come nobody does that? See, it's a generational gap. A lot of the guys that watch me, they go, oh, hey, that guy's got gray hair, but he talks cool stuff. How did you know about Skibbity Toilet and the Balkan Dwarf? And I'm like, because I don't feel like a 46-year-old. God, to even say that is pretty amazing. Because I look at the mirror and I'm like, está viejito, pero este bicho está duro. Yo puedo romper la mesa con el bicho. So, where was I going with that? Yeah, so the names of the cars, it's just weird, you know? Don't just call your car rape. Fuck it. Oh, man. I'm going to build the Gen 3 10R80 car on bags with straight headliner and call it Diddy. You should call it Diddy, and this will be the starting. Oh my God. Wow. You know, I can't get over someone throwing it back and saying that. I've never heard that from a girl. F that S N word. Boy, if a girl said that to me, wow. That would be amazing. Meek Mill's wild. He probably throws it back like nobody's business. Angel does 5-0. What did I miss? Says Ignacio Ramirez. Child Trafficker is a great grudge car name. 5-0 usernames are on the same level as guys who put 2.3 badges in their car and username. Can we just agree that there's nothing over 100%? Exactly. How can you have something over 100%? Well, here's all of it. No, I want 200% of that. Then that's something else. That is another thing. Well, I was going to make an analogy, but I can't make analogies like that on the fly because they get clipped up pretty good. Can we just... Gen 3 and Gen 4 and Mustangs are basically the same. Smash or Devour. Both uses Gen 3 block, head gasket, a bunch of other parts. If anything, it's a Gen 3.5. Who said that? Who said that when the Gen 4 came out? I said, this is the same thing. There's nothing... What? The cam sensors are different? The block is the same. Same, but different. But still same. She'd be a keeper. Bro, if a girl said that to me, I would have to get a ring tomorrow. If I'm dándole de atrás. And she's like, F that S N word. Married. I'd have a couple of girls. I've had a couple of girls tell me that. Oh, shut the fuck up. Of course there's that guy that says that. What's the best supercharger for the 24 F-150? You know what? I'm actually going to answer this question. The Whipple supercharger. Not because it performs better. It's just the best right now. Meaning, you can buy it and it shows up at your door. They I guess, finally got a direct line to totally not China. And they're making more product and they're getting it out the door. And that's the main thing. Like, have your product available. Because if you don't have your product available, it doesn't matter how much you're rah-rahing it, how much you're... Because they have a contract with Ford. They have a A bunch of dealers around telling you that on pump gas it makes 800 onto the wheel, which is hilarious. But again, sales, sales, sales. So I would say if you want to get into boost supercharging, you get yourself a Whipple and have a good old time. And that's it. You're done. Now, if you want to go Billy Badass fast, you get turbos. And then you go. With the exception of Queef, that motherfucker's like 1,000%. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I'm 100% of me. But if you were to say, how much is that guy? That guy's like 1,000% of me. I get it. Joseph Lacey says, deregulate the EPA and other 3-letter agencies into Bolivian. Oh, please tell me I have Mike Tyson. Where do you go from here, Mike?
I don't know, man. I might get fade into Bolivian, you know what I mean? I don't have nowhere to go and nothing to do, you know what I mean? I used to go fly my pigeons on the roof in New York.
If any of you think Mike Tyson has a legitimate shot against a 26-year-old, okay, he's got a puncher's chance. He got a puncher's chance. Mike Tyson's 56, 58, whatever, 58. He was shot at 38. Shot fighter. Well, he stood in there with Roy Jones. Roy Jones, who got laid the fuck out 16 times before he faced Mike Tyson. Yeah, okay, we're good. He is not, he has a puncher's chance, but so does, well, Paul's not going to knock out Tyson. I've never seen Tyson get hurt except from Holyfield. Like, not in their prime, little past their prime. They both fought past their prime. Holyfield was a cruiserweight. That was his prime. Mike Tyson at 23 was his prime. Dio, I know this isn't possible, but could you imagine a 24-intake manifold on a Gen 1, 2, 3 with twin turbos? See, I've gotten into contact with some, in my opinion, big heavy hitter manufacturers, and I don't want to say we're working on stuff, but we're working on stuff. And I've had this thought, guys. I've had this idea in my head since. Actually, it was funny to see that girl's name come up because it reminded me of the twin throttle body idea I had way back in the day, and Jake came to fruition. And I was like, how can we make it work? I asked Junior. Junior thinks, there's a possibility. So I'm going to try to, make that happen. And if I want the most visibility on it, I probably would do something with the Corvette. But, a lot of stuff has to happen for anything to come to fruition. It's a big uphill battle just to get the Coyote in there, wiring, running, all that stuff. A lot of people don't like it. Look, guys, this is what I'm facing with the Corvette. I am facing so much pushback with the Corvette that I'm blown away by it. Like, a lot of people want to help. Department of Boost guy, awesome. This guy's like all in. Love him. I still have to show you the intake, and I have to show you the intercooler and the heat exchanger. Again, my fault. Time. I have no time. So, a lot of people are like, they want in, but then when it comes time to like, okay, well, I need this, and this. You're doing it wrong. Start from scratch. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I thought, I know what I want, and I know my vision. Literally, shove the Coyote in the Corvette, supercharge it, use the stock fuel system, trigger it whatever way it has to be triggered. None of the dash has to work. Not one motherfucking thing on the dash has to work. It just has to turn on the brake lights and the switches and everything work. That's it. That's all that has to happen. And a lot of people are just like, nah. So I was like, well, okay, I'm all alone in this one. Except for people that want to help, like Department of Boost. They're great. You see, Jake wants to fight Canelo. He's been wanting to fight Canelo from the get-go. We've always named our work trucks my whole life. Some names are obvious and some not so much. I'm curious how Donnie got his name. Donnie got his name? The car? Because Donnie Renfro. Donnie Renfro, friend of mine, used to work at Power by the Hour. And actually, you know what? I'll tell you that story. So, boy, everything's coming around. Interesting. So Donnie Renfro helped me out at my lowest point. I was homeless, legit homeless, and he helped me out at my lowest point. And it was weird. It was serendipitous. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the parking lot looking at apartments with my life in the Genesis. Like, my life, right? My whole life is in the Genesis. And I'm looking at apartments, and I had slept in the car a couple of days, and I'm like, this is not good. This really sucks. And he calls me out of the blue, just calls me. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm in the parking lot. This happened. And he's like, yeah, what are you doing in the parking lot? And I'm like, shit went downhill. And, I ended up, just getting the fuck out of there. He's like, bro, stay at my place. And I'm like, the fuck I am, because I don't want to come in and interlope and there's a whole family dynamic. And he's like, dude, I got an extra bedroom, stay until you need to, and we're good. Guys, forever in his debt. Like that guy, like it touches my heart talking about the dude. So that guy helped me out big time when I was down and out. So what I did is I went out of my way to really help him dial in his car. Like whatever he wanted. And it helped me learn because I was working for VMP at the time and I was miserable, making no money. But I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I got access to this car and these calibrations. Let me just learn. So I learned on Donnie's car. We go out every weekend, go racing, every Wednesday, go racing. He'd modify it. He'd put new transmission in it. He'd put rear end. He did everything. And I just hammer away. We ended up making close to 900 rear wheel horsepower through an auto on the Power by the Hour dyno. And then he went to the track and he ran a 9.1 at like 149 or 150. And I said, bro, this is legit on a stock Gen 2 bottom end, Comcam Stage 3s, and a VMP Gen 2R non-ported with a PMAS 149 intake. And I was like, bro, with a monoblade throttle body. I was amazed. So once I bought this car, it's exactly his color. And again, when I said I wanted a Gen 1 Mustang, I just went on the internet and looked for Gen 1 Mustangs, and this one was available in North Carolina for $20,000. And I just bought it sight unseen, get it over here, and it looks exactly like Donnie's car, except it's a performance package. Actually, I think his was a performance package too. He had Brembo brakes on his shit too. So I said, perfect name for the car, Donnie. So Donnie's been a great guy, and I wanted to kind of pay homage to him, and I named the car after Donnie. So if you go back in the videos on my channel, you're going to see Donnie Renfro's Mustang all over the place. And they're great videos because that was the learning curve that I experienced with Gen 1 6R80s. Conspiracy Theory says slow 99 for the $10 super chat. But when Trump imposes big tariffs on Chinese imported products, do you think we'll see an increase in Whipple prices? Oh, so this is the thing that I think people can get around. If you're selling products, then they can get tariffs on them. But the metals, I don't know where they're getting the metals. Like what foundries are over? Remember when COVID hit and you couldn't get metal anywhere? But mostly because you couldn't get anything brought in from overseas? That's when Whipple had a huge Bono Bird's gonna go, no, we get it from down the street. Okay, during COVID, Whipple had a huge backlog of blowers. People were waiting 30 weeks, 40 weeks, like a lot of time for blowers. So here we made fun of the fact of like, wait a minute, this is America. Why don't you have metal here? What, metal? You don't have metal? Like, what the fuck? Or did the people that cast the Whipple supercharger, not the custom shit, the billet custom shit you guys do for offshore racing and race programs or banks. I'm talking about the run of the mill, because do you guys think the shit you get on the shelf is the shit the racers get? Boy, you were sadly mistaken there. So a lot of people were like wondering why is it taking so long? It's an American company. And then all of a sudden when restrictions started getting lifted, blowers started making their ways into, dealers' warehouses. JMap says 24 manifold, it's speed dense, so good. 2 throttle bodies equals a lot more air. Roush got permission to remove MAFs. This is why I follow Alex. This man is real. Thank you so much. Definitely a great friend. This is real friend right there. Hello. For the Corvette gauges to work with the Coyote swap, I really don't care about that, honestly. I remember when you were staying somewhere in Miami with the black S197 putting a supercharger pulley on. No, nowhere in Miami. I never stayed in Miami with the black car. I always stayed in that wasn't Miami. That was Royal Palm Beach. That's where Donnie lives. He lives in Royal Palm Beach. I'd love to move there because there's land, there's big garages, but I don't want to live like it where he lives in that area. It looks a little tight. I want to be somewhere where at least an acre. I've seen some houses. House prices are decent, but you got to spend $600 to have a garage workshop area. I've seen 3 houses that are between $550 and $600 that have garages in the back, huge garages. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that, but I'm not ready right now. Because I want to see what's going to happen with Papi Trump. Because if the interest rates get better or the housing market gets better because of optimism in the market and people tend to move the fuck back to New York, that'd be ideal. Down the street, meaning Shanghai, Whipple was backordered for like 8 months. I remember, Alex, does Donnie live in West Palm as well? Yes, he lives in Royal Palm Beach. which is west of me by a little bit. Is Donnie still working at Bentley? His car and Jeremiah Camps are some of the favorite cars featured on your channel. I don't know. I don't know what I need to do to like tell these guys to just hand me the keys to their shit. I don't want to be like, hey, Jeremiah, just give me. I think Jeremiah's just living his own life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he like is in the like you guys. You guys are psycho. You guys are way into it. You're on Facebook. You're on you're the Amory, the Patreon. I get it. But Jeremiah's doing his own thing. I think he's more like he's kind of like a hippie dude. Like super, he's fit, got long hair. He goes mountain biking. He goes surfing. And I'm like, boy, this guy's he's got it figured out. I'm here like, working. And then after I'm done working, I work some more. Then I work out and hurt my whole body. Like I hobbled into the gym today. I was like, oh, I guess I got to get this done. And a pretty strong workout. It felt good. I got a pump for the first time in a long time because I started taking creatine for recovery. And God damn it, that because I don't take shit, I notice any change in my body when I take shit. And I loaded up on creatine for the first 4 weeks, 10 grams a day. Now I do 5 grams a day. And bro, it actually helped. Everybody knows the best casting is done on the eastern block of Europe. Okay, I was the one that was waiting a very long time for my Whipple F-150, says Nick Perry. Is Donnie still working at Bentley? Yeah, Donnie is still working at Bentley. I think he works in a managing capacity. I want the polished kit they gave Sam the polisher. My buddy waited 8 months during COVID, his Whipple, and the damn thing was dead on arrival, grinding bearings like a motherfucker. Papi Trump, gano. What was the bet? Yeah, I'm not going to do shit. I'll probably do YOLO shorts, but I was talking to somebody that said, do you really want to go back to YOLO stuff? And I'm like, well, if I do YOLO stuff, it'll be less than a minute. It'll be shorts, but I have to be motivated. You understand? Anytime I did something forced, it looked forced and it wasn't funny to me. So if I do YOLO stuff, it's going to be something that I like. Like I need to find it funny. Don't forget, a 4-post stacker lift turns a 2-car garage with 12 to 14 ceilings into a 4-car garage. Yeah, you need to understand, Coyote Crime Lord, I need workspace, not storage space. Stock 50 says, bro, the equestrian area there is the move, quiet and peaceful. Alex, I think the guy named Mike wants you to feature his car. Oh, yeah. Okay, so shout out to Mike. Wasn't it Nick? Wasn't it Nick? So apparently I went back on the chat where Senior and I were talking, and I think Homeboy was in there, defending himself. You don't understand, right? So you either fucks with this show or you don't fucks with the show. And if we have an op and you fucks with the ops, I don't hate you. I'm not going to fucks with you. That's all. I appreciate you being here and being a member, but at the end of the day, you can't play both sides. If you're friendly on one side, I can't bring your car to my channel and have it featured when it was all up on their other channel. I'd rather not do that. And again, I don't have a relationship like that with that person. Jeremiah Camp's car is still rolling out and Gen 1 content is still good because Gen 1 Coyotes, now that they're mostly built, most of them have Gen 3 bottom ends or Gen 2 bottom ends, people are reverting back to those cars because they still have the solid rear axle and they go after it. So built versus built, I would go a Gen 1 all day, every day. Oh, Nick Santarpia? No. Nick Velasquez, I think his name was. How was the Challenger you drove? Says S58 is the GOAT. So I went up to Lund Racing and we have access to a Hellcat Red Eye Challenger. And I've driven them before, but not a Hellcat version because, I did at Bomberas when they were just coming out, like the first version of the Hellcat. And I thought it was a cool car. Comfortable, didn't really change in body style, kind of the same car. I get in this car and I'm like, this is the same fucking car. I want to be honest with you guys, the seats and the dash are beautiful. Everything else on the interior of those cars sucks. It's very plasticky feeling, but it's a couch. It's big. It's comfortable. And that one I think has a ported blower, pulley to death, and I think it has race gas. It always runs on 100 octane, and I think Dusterhoff tuning tunes it. And it's got a set of Pilot 4S's or something like that with aftermarket wheels. It's a good running car, and it's fast. Is it scary fast? No. It make 850 to the wheel, but a 4,600 pound car, it's not going to feel all that great. But we drove it to lunch. We had a lunch meeting up at Lund Racing. We were up there kind of strategizing what's going to happen with the up and coming changes that we're going to be doing. We're going to be probably paring down a lot of the choices that you guys can select in terms of cold airs, and we're going to be busy, and we're going to probably take on a whole bunch of other things. So I think it'll be an interesting time coming up for Lund Racing. So look, would I buy it? Absolutely. But you know what's going to happen the moment I show up to this place with that thing? It's over. It's over. They're all going to be watching. They're going to be like, oh, what's up with that? Yeah, I know what it is. It's a red eye. I'm good. Yep, Dusterhoff says, Chuck Wazorski, Pat's Hellcat was nice to drive. It was a nice car. It's a nice car. Justin Michael says, you need a 3-car garage minimum. The lift will take up more than one space, and you'll want to access both sides if you're going to go work on it. Phil Fez, take my Gen 2R combo out for a spin next time. For sure, Phil Fez. Because your car has my old wheels on it. Your car looks so good. Like, going down the track, it just does all the right things. Eventually, if you want to go a little quicker, get with the guy that does what's his name? Garrett Leach. Get that slipper device on your shit. Get the suspension set up like he wants. Let's get a drag radial on there, Phil Fez. And we'll see what that car does. The bias ply, I think, is good, especially if you want to do no prep stuff. If you want to do no prep stuff, because there's a lot of no prep racing out there, back half racing or topside racing. I think that's okay if you want to do something like that and get into some racing. Orlando is hosting a lot of no prep stuff. You're starting to see on the channels, Orlando, race, whatever the fuck, have top end racing. 8th Mile, the other way, no prep. So I'm like, yeah. If you want to keep the bias ply for that, go ahead and do that. But if you want to get into a sticky track and go a little more consistent, maybe go 2/10 quicker, I think a drag radial is going to help you out if you have a slipper device. Mr. Whipple says, Alex, I took your advice for my 20 GT, the 10R. Got the 1440 injectors, and I don't know about the 1440. Oh, it was the 1650s that we don't do. Double pump, and what cold air do you recommend for the rubber one that comes with it, or should I get the Cobra Jet intake? I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Whipple. If you got a Whipple, I would stay with the 123 millimeter cold air. Why is that? Nobody needs 150 millimeter cold air on their street car. In my opinion, the only time you need 150 millimeter cold air on your car is when you're making 16, 17, 18 and up pounds of boost. Like a lot of boost, 20 and up, like really aggressive. I think you should keep a lot of people get confused. The throttle body is 132 millimeters. The cold air is 123 millimeters. So the stock cold air that comes in Whipple kits, 123 millimeter, is wonderful. It's very well designed. You don't need anything more than that unless you're making 900 plus rear wheel horsepower. I got Midnight Performance building my trans, and I got it shipped out yesterday. Good for you, brother. Good for you. There goes my smoke detector again. Just do a Hellcat swap instead. I got spare radials to try. Good job, Phil Fez. You don't want... Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I give you... Phil Fez, did I give you a set of radials? I don't remember. I don't remember if I gave you a set of drag radials. But if I did, let me know. Because I remember I think I just gave shit away. Swap a Hellcat into something that doesn't have come steal me. Look, I'd love to do it on the Fairmont. I think that'd be cool. But how expensive is a Hellcat? Well... Probably not that expensive if you don't care where the VIN number's from, but it has to be legit. I gave you 4 Radial Pros. God damn, I'm a good guy. Swap a Hellcat into something that doesn't have come steal me. Look, November 30th, Orlando has the no prep back of the track, says Mr. Whipple. Phil Fest says, I do. I have a small channel. Need to upload my ModNats experience. Ran 9.6 at 147. 147 is good mile an hour, brother. That has high 8s all over it. He says, I'm sorry I'm late. Yes. How are the new 1750Xs? I'm ditching the FIC 1650s. So the same as the 1700s. Let's just talk about the 1700s. Whatever 1700s felt like, the 1750s will feel like. You can't run pump gas in them and expect great idle quality. You're gonna just have to just live with the fact that on pump gas, ID 1750s or 1700s will not idle great. Will it do well watt? Sure. But and idle quality will suffer. In my opinion, the ID 1700 is an E85 only injector because of the pulse width and the E85 fuel characterization and all this bullshit. I think that on E85 it'll idle well. On pump gas it won't. But again, driving experience will be fine. I don't even think you'll notice the bad idle, to be honest with you, unless you're like a psychopath. You think there's more money in Florida and New York moving from the West Coast? Well, New York is the financial capital of the world. Now, you want to talk about money? I think a lot of people that live here, there's more billionaires here than anywhere else, as far as I know, in the U.S. In Palm Beach County, Jupiter specifically, Nick Saban has a house here. Michael Jordan has a house here. Trump has multiple properties in Florida. Like anyone that is Jeff Bezos has a house in Palm Beach County. You understand? So the big money motherfuckers, they're here swinging their dicks. And if you simply want to do a nice little tour, do yourselves a favor. If you're in Palm Beach County, go to Utiki Bar in Jupiter. It's on the Intercoastal. Go there. Wait for this little pontoon boat. And for $20 or $40, you can take a half-hour long or a 45-minute long or maybe 1 hour long ride. And there's two boats and they go back and forth. Take the hour-long ride. He will take you down this little inlet and he'll say, that's Tiger Woods' house, that's Rory McIlroy's house, that's this guy's house, that's Jordan's boat, and I'm like, holy shit, there's crazy money here. But New York generally has more people and more money. So it all depends on what you want to do. I like living in Palm Beach County because you have access to money. I'm not saying I know a bunch of billionaires. I know one millionaire, but I have access to. I can literally rub elbows in restaurants with people that are well-to-do. And let's say I come across a guy that has a car collection and he just likes my channel or whatever. He could be like, bro, I want you to tune all my shit. I'm like, no problem. Lund Racing support at lundracing.com and I'll tune all your shit. You know, and if he wants that personal treatment, I'll talk to Senior. I'll say, Senior, this billionaire wants me to tune all his shit in person, obviously using your files, but he's going to pay you. And if he pays me a little tip on the side, whatever, hey, yo, we'll go from there. And you could do that. I met a guy that has 3 Ford GTs, the new ones. 3. That's $3 million in car. Big injectors on Pump 93 have issues on diesel, especially on turbo setups. Coyote Cromwell says, hey, Theo, speaking of Hellcats and stealing, when you and Senior were talking about 24 Mustang ECU encryption, do you think they're actually cracking down knowing there's no Hellcats to steal now? I don't think so. See, I asked him a very good question, I thought, because I'm so good. I said, do you think because 21 F-150s are reverting back to the stock tune, over-the-air updates, is there a way, do you think, that the over-the-air update can get rid of the encryption of the 24 Mustang? He's like, I don't think so. Whatever they do at the end of the assembly line to put in the encryption, because they're specific to the VIN. So let's say, for instance, cross-flashing. What does cross-flashing mean? I can take a 2015 Mustang tune manual, vet it, do all the proper vetting, and I could put that tune in any Mustang from 15, 16, and 17. And all I have to do is make slight changes for the differences. Let's say, for example, you have performance package Mustang and it has an oil pressure gauge on the dash. I can literally take a 15 Mustang file and cross flash it. Again, you have to know some stuff. And I can 15 to 17, they're all cross flashable. 18 was not. 18 was its own thing. So between 18 and 19, why can't you cross flash an 18 to a 19? 19 manual has a clutch switch and a different clutch switch and a sensor on the transmission for the downshift rev matching. So if you throw an 18 tune and a 19, it doesn't start. It goes, I don't know, it throws circuit codes for clutch because there's a different clutch configuration. So 1920 have their own tuning. 18 has its own tuning. 1920 has its own tuning. And 21 to 23 has its own tuning. So I think they're getting tighter and tighter with the encryption. Now, I think you can't cross-flash years at all. I don't think you can cross-flash, if it becomes tunable, a 24 Mustang calibration to a 25 or a 24 Mustang calibration and then shove that tune into another 24 Mustang unless you get access to some kind of token that allows you to pop the VIN in for that vehicle for that vetted file. That's what I suspect, but again, I don't know. That's on the programming side. I'm just a dumbass that doesn't know how to tune. The master splinters, as in rats? That's hilarious. Yeah, New York City is dirty despite being so rich. I like Jupiter and Clematis. Me too, Mr. Whipple. Southern Florida is an American paradise. It really is. You got to get here. I want to do a 6.4 Hemi swap and keep it naturally aspirated. Just want a good fun, not a lot for the money. Nah, that sounds dumb. Just boost it. Got to go. I'm going to buy a Grom. Thanks for another awesome live. Thank you, Glassroof Coyote. I have a business in Indiantown and A1A in Jupiter, says Mr. Whipple. Good for you. Nick Perry says, I'm I'm vested in my career, so I can't leave. I'm also in the outer boroughs, so I'm away from the shit. But some out here and start fresh. But to some out here and start fresh is going to be tough. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. It was tough to assimilate here. So what was the first thing I noticed between moving from the Northeast to moving to Florida? I love you guys. Most Floridians are fucking stupid. And that's okay. Most Floridians are fucking lazy. And that's okay. Because it just makes me look really smart and hardworking. Whatever you're used to doing in your Northeast state, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. You have a work ethic that is not present down here. There is just, people just hang out. Leisure. Go fishing. Fuck around. Smoke weed. Just chill the fuck out. So when you come down here and you expect something to get done fast, or at least at the same pace that it's done in the Northeast, it's non-existent. Your Dunkin' Donuts order takes 5 minutes. Guys, if you know anything about the Northeast, when you come to Florida, if the server is a little darker than me, do you know what I'm saying? Expect to wait 5 minutes for your shit. Jacksonville, Gainesville, Destin, St. Augustine. You get your coffee in 2 minutes. South Florida, 5 to 10. 5 to 10. They're just talking. Let me get my popcorn right quick, says Joe Swish. I used to live in Deerfield. I love you, man, but you're bastardizing that ZR1 shit I've gotten to blow. Shut the fuck up! Bastardizing the ZR1 by giving it a better motor. By opening up my options for blowers. What could I do with the LS9? Heat. Oh, you're just an ice tank. Meth. A 2650 away from what? They're not bulletproof. Most of the really fast ZR1s, you see them have a LSR block shit. You have some aftermarket shit, built shit. Not stock stuff. You wanted me to throw $30,000 into a Corvette and then another $15,000 into cooling? Suck my dick. Coyote, Ford cooling, 1,000 horse. I'm not going to make 1,000 horse right off the rip, but I'm going to make 800. Like, no problem. Here's 14 pounds of boost and Sunoco 260 GT. Sakawet body. There's 800. What did I have to do to make 800 on the export, snout, pulley pressed on, aftermarket crazy cold air, $2,000 2-inch headers, and they still made 160 IAT. 160! I live in Florida. You're bastardizing the Corvette. Boy, that Corvette should be happy that I'm paying it attention. That Corvette's lived a hard life. It's been through like 30 owners. That shit ain't... And it's got a leaf spring in the front. It's got a leaf spring in the front. It's got a leaf spring in the front. Don't talk to me about badass. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. It's a chassis right now. It's a Cobra chassis right now. And I'll put a Coyote in it. And I'm going to put a blower on it. And I'm going to leave the TR6060 in that bitch. And it's going to start with the button. And you're going to go, what the fuck? It's going to chop. And you're going to go, wait a minute. Was he trolling us? Did he put an LSR in it? Did he put a Texas speed motor in it? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Sounds pretty good. Made 800 on fucking 11 or 12 PSI. Holy shit. Alex, this is how I'm going to prove that going Coyote into the ZR1 is the better move. Back to back to back watt pole runs. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm going to do 3 runs on the Corvette, and I'm going to show you the IAT. It's going to be 120. Just chilling. Could you do that with your fucking 2.3? Having ass. Whipping up with a 2.3 upper. 10% lower, headers, all the meth gurgling down its fucking... Here's some fucking meth. Rooster tail of a fucking smoke show. I see you, Corvette guys. I see you with a rooster tail of a black smoke. His tune's on point. Fucking rolling Timmy's lungs. Timmy without a dick's lungs are fucked. When ZR1s make watt pulls. Rooster tail black smoke. 1 watt pull. You want to run again? No, I got to go to Winn-Dixie or Sheetz and get some ice for my ice tank for another run. Fuck out of here. You got to tow a truck with ice on a ZR1 that makes 1,000. Or you go run it out there in 40-degree weather. And do 1 gear 60 to 130 hits and post it on Facebook like you're doing something. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Silverado suspension to ZR1. What do you think of Miami? A lot of rich people, but how many made it there or up Jersey in New York? I'm not a Miami guy, bro. You'd hate Miami. I don't like Miami. The best thing about Miami is the women. I'm saying the women there are unbelievable. But again, you got fake culos, fake tetas, fake lips. So you got to be okay with fake culos, fake tetas, fake lips. But the amount of women in Miami? Bro, just go to Miami, right? And if you're not like a disgusting cholo, go there, turn on Bumble, and just wait. Women from Colombia that are looking for a passport. Ay, papi, ¿cómo está? They're staying in an efficiency, but they look like $1 million. And then you're like, oh, let's go back to your place. Oh no, papi, my place is full of roaches. They ain't kidding. It's in like Hialeah, Culo Mundo, piece of shit, Miami Gardens. And I'm like, all right. But the women are phenomenal. They come up from Venezuela every year. They overstay their visa. They get a cleaning job, and they look like $1 million. That's the best thing about Miami. This tune's on point. Rooster tail. But Alex, Leaf Springs is sideways. Exactly. Timmy without a dick. When I go Turbo 400, it says bury my cock in her. Bury my cocketer says, when I go Turbo 400 swap on my 2012 Mustang, it's a manual car now. What do you, Lund, want me to do so I can have a functional speedo? You need to make sure that the reluctor wheel, tooth count, that you know it, and that whatever OSS sensor that actually, I don't know what the fuck, what year? Oh, 2012. I think you're fucked. You need the factory OSS to pick up. Wait a minute. I don't know. Chuck Wazowinski might know. Because I think there's a way of making the speedo work with like us knowing the tooth count on the reluctor wheel for OSS or output shaft speed or something like that. LS rolls coal like diesel trucks. GM heat soaks is ridiculous. Miami is like third world country. Pass and done. Let's go, Timmy. Yeah, Latinas are unreal. I want to say unreal. They're beautiful. I might get in trouble by saying this. But white girls is where it's at for me. You know, like I've dated Hispanic women and there's always drama. But I'm hoping that changes. Because God damn it, there's always drama. And I'm like, well, there's drama with everyone, but white girls have a little less drama. It's like having fucking white people food versus Hispanic food. White people food is safe and bland. Hispanic food might give you diarrhea in the shits, but it tastes so good. So there's a, risk-reward situation happening. Dropping a like, I'll catch a replay later, says Rigo SVT. You have to know Spanish in Miami, you do. So many women in Miami, some of them are dudes. Exactly. That's the question you got to ask here. Do you have a dick? Or are you born with a dick? Like, you have to say, naciste con una pinga? Sí. Pump some Toto like subwoofer 2024. You're not that cute. Just saying. It says a beep and smoke detector. I'm actually pretty attractive. Like to the certain women, they find me very attractive. Young girls don't because they think I'm an old guy, and that's okay. Then there's old bitch goes in them and they don't know what to do. The Dakota Digital makes an adapter. Redheads, bro. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. As a half Cuban, I learned my lesson from Latinas. I married an Italian girl, says Nick Perry. Theo's right. Redhead, strawberry blonde is my kryptonite. Stop it. Please. To this day, it's a problema. Like, I'm like, oh, se jodió. Se jodió.
To this day.
Take my money. Fuck it. Could it be because you know the Hispanic culture compared to the white culture? Absolutely. I know both cultures intimately. I have an American culture. But the moment I start talking to a Hispanic person, I know what culture they come from or they're used to. And it usually does not align, if they maintain that culture in the United States. You have to assimilate to this culture. And if I make references, movie references, and you're like out in left field, I don't think it's going to work out. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a reason Latinas drive you to insanity, because you always expect the drama to stop. It never stops. My Gen 2R is pretty cool, surprisingly. Stays cool, surprisingly. Been seeing 85 to 95 IATs. Creeps up to 100 or so when I'm stuck in traffic. I'm north where it's already cold. Though Turvey's Weld says, you're better looking than me, Theo, says Turvey. Turvey's Weld say you're better looking than me. Alex is probably loved by car girls. If they do, they don't say nothing. I'm a white guy and I refuse to eat bland food. I season the shit out of everything. Yeah, like, what is it? Old Bay? Is it Old Bay? That shit ain't seasoning. Bro, Old Bay is whack. If y'all think, where is it? Where it is? If y'all think this is seasoning, if y'all think like, oh, I seasoned my chicken, I put Old Bay on it. Bro, cállate la boca. Vete pa'l carajo. That shit sucks. Old Bay. Old Bay is what white people think seasoning is. Now, you know what we see? We season with everything. Like everything in the cupboard, we put it in one big massive thing and we just sazon, adobo, cilantro. Like it's a fucking mess. It's a fucking mess. That's why you need soul food, Alex. Best food you'll ever eat, but we'll end you early. Exactly. There's a place here called Silver Spoons. It's a Jamaican joint. Bro, the Jamaican food out of that place is phenomenal, and it's a hole in the wall. A1 steak sauce, exactly. Old Bay is good for seafood. Old Bay is not sazon. Old Bay, yes, Maryland crabs. Old Bay on steamed blue crabs is bomb. Get the fuck out of here. Old Bay is junk. Sazon Goya, mi gente. Old Bay is for Walmart seafood shoppers. Sazon is good. Or hot sauce was our hot sauce was ketchup for taco night when I was a kid. Oh, I'm so sorry. So there's a place called Silver Spoons in Lake Park. Lake Park is a tiny little town here. Images. Why does it look like diarrhea on a plate? God damn it. I'm sorry. Parece diarrea. Se cagaron ese diablo. Where the fuck is it? Here it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is not a good representation of what I eat there, but yeah, diablo, so it looks like someone just shit in a Tupperware or in a styrofoam thing, and here you go, man. Bad man. Bomboclat, Rasclat. The fuck out. Oh my god. No, okay. This looks like shit, guys. It tastes phenomenal. That's how they give it to you, too. It's a fucking mess. They just throw that shit on the plate. Eat that, man. Bro. Bad. And then there's another joint here called Taj Mahal in Okeechobee Boulevard. Yes, bro. This place, Indian. Oh, bro. I've had all this. Me and Jake go there. It's a little spot. It's going to take you 50 minutes to get your shit. Bro, this place, oh my God. What are these called? I forgot the name. Oh, man, he called it something. But I've had the Papti Chat. What the fuck is this? ¿Qué sé yo? Yo no sé cómo se llama esta mierda. Bro, they got the best garlic naan there. They got the biryani, chicken biryani, goat biryani, the Papti Chat. The food here is so dumb. I love it. Look. I'm fat, but I can be so much more fat if I actually ate the food. What the fuck? The screen doesn't want to move. There we go. Bro, like Taj Mahal, Okeechobee, and yeah, it's straight diarrhea, but like it's worth it. It's totally worth it. That'd be the best food. Exactly. Cool Runnings making food now. I'm laughing so hard. Does it look like the same coming out? Bro, Alex saying Rasklat. You said that is good looking like straight Bombaclat in the box. Bombo Rasklat. The stuff looks like it would do better on the way out. That's suspect. Gonna be shit my life away. Looks way better than most Mexican food. Oxtail with rice and bean. Plenty gravy. But hey, they're eating the cats in Ohio. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Bro, go to Fratanga and it's the same, but it slaps for harder than $13. JD Swag, samosa, meat samosas. Yes, meat samosas and the biryani, chicken biryani and the meat samosa, and 2 garlic naan. Oh, me vengo. Fucking 8,000 calories, bro. You got your Indian food in a level 10 hot. Yeah, you got to get that shit hot. Like, You know Indian food is good when your asshole is hot as fuck when you're shitting. You're like, God damn, that was good Indian food. It reminds you. Take a reminder how good dinner was last night. Hot asshole. The messiest looking is the best tasting food. Hole in the wall places always have some of the best food. Hello, hello. Alex, what do you think of Pollo Tropical? Pollo Tropical is whack. I'm a La Granja guy. Yo soy de La Granja. I'm not a Pollo Tropical guy. You know why Pollo Tropical is no good? That's who's serving you. Not that that's the reason, but they're lazy up here. Everybody. You go to La Granja, them motherfuckers are Hondurans. They're either roofing or they're serving you food, and they do it with the same energy. I tried as long as I'll try it as long as it doesn't look like it comes out of a diaper. Chicken tikka masala or however you spell it. Meat pies. Meat pies aren't Jamaican. I love this show. Laugh my ass off. There's another place. It's called The Catch. The Catch on North Lake Boulevard. Bro, and it's got a little shit in the back. You wouldn't even know it existed. You go in there and it's next to a pawn shop. Guys, it's next to a pawn shop. And then you go to the back and it's got this little joint back there. You know what I'm saying? You go outside with the mira pa allá. Yo, bro, you go outside, you sit out there. You know what I'm saying? And they got they got everything. You name it. They fucking got it. The Catch, North Lake Boulevard. I'm telling you, when COVID happened, I wanted to make sure this place didn't shut down. I was there every fucking weekend, bro. Octopus. They got great fucking rolls. They got carne asada, and they got a little joint outside. They got a little Mexican or Jamaican dude singing out there live with the bro. You're gonna get laid if you bring a girl here, bro. It's a good time. Check them out. The Catch. So The Catch, Taj Mahal, and what the fuck's the other one? The Catch, Taj Mahal, and what the fuck's the other one? The Catch, Taj Mahal. Fuck, what's the other? Oh, Silver Spoons. If you want diarrhea on a styrofoam plate. The reason Indian food takes forever is because they're using their toenails cut to be. Yeah. What do you mean by it has shit in the back? Oh, a patio. Yeah, shit in the back. Hit La Granja Onion Bar, the one with the jalapenos, fish tacos. I guess car talk is done for the night. I'll let you guys Sunday for the peasant chat. RC Connection, ask questions. For an hour, I gave you car talk. I'm sorry. I want to talk about food. Shit. 2 things my asshole is scared of. Food server flyby and the fly on a face people in infomercials and Diddy. Oh, what the fuck did he just say? Catch you guys. Yeah, he's out of here. Making a list of places to visit when I go to South Florida. Liver and onions. Mahi mahi tacos. Harley. Ooh. Laugh my ass off. Okay. So we could kind of wrap up the show. We got 8 minutes left. So the EV mandate getting taken away by the coming Trump administration. I can't believe I'm saying those words. You understand? Like, I can't believe the dude won. I'm still suspect. I'm still leery about it. I'm still uneasy until he gets inaugurated and in there. I'm still kind of leery about it. But the fact that he won landslide and has a mandate, won the popular vote, he did very well. And I'm proud of you, America. Seriously, America. I'm fucking proud of you. I didn't know people were as mad as I was. And unfortunately, my county is on the blue side because it is Palm Beach County and a lot of New Yorkers here. What the fuck are you doing here? Anyway, the fact that the EV mandate is going to get taken away by the stroke of a pen could instantly, because Ford is still set up to do ICE stuff. Chevy, Dodge, all those guys are still set up. It's not like they tore down their factories. They might say, wait a minute. We could bring some cars out of retirement if these EV mandates and mile per gallon green agenda mandates go away. Imagine the mile per gallon EV agenda goes away. And that's the reason the Hellcat died. You don't think Dodge would be like, fuck it. We'll bring some Heritage Edition bullshit. Here's another demon. Fuck it. We'll just bring it out. Break the mold out. Here you go. 2025, 2026. Chargers, Challengers, and Camaros maybe make a comeback because the administration loosens the fuel mileage standards on these vehicles. I know I'm being overly optimistic, but let's just say that's the reason they died. And let's just say Trump is the reason they come back. I'm telling you, that's going to be a very interesting 2 years. I give them 2 years because the midterms come and shenanigans happen and then that goes away. But the aftermarket companies now can breathe a sigh of relief because they can probably order product. If they were waiting because a lot of people do this. let's say you're a header manufacturer and you're like, I don't know if headers are going to be sold. The market's dipping. Inflation's fucked. It costs us a lot of money to get parts and money, parts and materials, and employees don't want to work. Everyone's fucking lazy, staying at home playing Call of Duty. So I'm not going to invest in the company. And then Trump comes in, starts signing stuff, and all of a sudden, the machine starts turning. All of a sudden, people start pumping out product. All of a sudden, goods and materials are made in the USA. All of a sudden, energy is down, meaning we're pumping oil back into the market. We're pumping gas back into the market and EV. We're doing everything. Nuclear power plants start popping up all over the fucking place because we need energy. This is a business. And the US is a business. And the business can't run without its main commodity, fuel, energy. That's what makes America better than any other nation. The amount of energy we can create, we can use, and we can dominate, and people can buy energy from us. You don't think Great Britain, Germany, and all those people would rather buy, natural gas and oil from us than from Russia? Of course they would. So I think once that starts turning up, I think a lot of people are going to start being, okay, I'll invest back into my company because now I can get materials. Materials are cheaper. It's an instant savings. If he starts instituting the tax cuts he wants to institute, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and he wants to get rid of income tax. That one blew my mind. Money in your pocket, less regulation, less shit coming out of your pocket. I think it's good for everybody. So I think it's going to be potentially a good 2 years if he actually does what he said he was going to do in the campaign trail. And we're going to hold him to that. And if in 2 years he didn't do it, you're going to see fucking Democrats back in there talking their shit as if they, are going to change something. They're just a change agent. They're just checks and balances. And if Trump doesn't do what we tell him to do, they're just going to revert back to Democrat bullshit. It's just going to be gridlocked for the last 2 years of his administration. Demon Felony Edition. America has spoke. We are tired of the same old bullshit. My God, let's face it. She had people supporting her for free concerts. Stellantis is balls deep in that what they're investing. I doubt we'll see Hellcats again, except in a Durango. Bring back the Boss 351. $20 million in debt, and they wanted to help her out. Shitty economy. And Black Wings and Cadillacs, many alive for a little longer now that Poppy Trump is here. Woohoo. $100,000 cars though, but I get it. But she grew up in a middle-class family, as well as car enthusiast cars may come back too. I'm driving this 18-wheeler and getting hungry. Thanks a lot, RC Connection. I thought she grew up on her knees. This country is run with rules, not feelings. The look on liberals' face when the Mexican wearing a Trump hat walks up is priceless. It will take time, but Daddy Trump is a workaholic. So hopefully things get moving quickly. The guy being 78, 79 years old worked harder than most of you guys. He works harder than me. The guy doesn't go to sleep. No tax on Social Security too. DJT, facts, Joe. Hypothetical. If Ford got their head out of their butt and built cool cars again. New Lincoln LSE on Mustang chassis opinion. I don't know. By the way, the guys that the guys that are building that V10 Lincoln, they got it running. Kind of cool. I'd like to see the gaskets on the manifolds. But check them out. I forget the name of the channel, but check them out. They actually got the V10 in the car and running with Fuel Tech stuff. And I was like, that's cool. So you're going to see them start making progress. I mean, that's a long project, very tough. And there's two of them doing it. And I'm like, boy, I don't know how long it's going to take me to swap to 01. It's going to be a while, but I'm going to do my best to get you content on that because it can't take me a year. I'd consider it a major failure if it takes me a year to coyote swap the Corvette, honestly. Getting rid of all those income taxes will hopefully encourage more people to work. Capitalism is cool, says all that power level does the S19788 need bracing? At what power level does the S19788 need bracing? Do you recommend for bracing wise drag racing? So my car broke manual, the differential, at about 720 horsepower. But again, I was launching at 6,000 RPM, dumping the clutch. If you're roll racing and you're auto, you could probably run a 950 or lower consistently without doing a lot of work. What's going to break is the diff. The diff is going to break. I don't think an axle is going to break all that much unless you have wheel hop. But bracing, I would definitely weld the axle tubes, a swar bar, or some kind of bracing across it when you're drag racing and going quicker than, let's say, like a 9-second pass. Anything under 10.0, I know it sounds silly, but anything under 10.0, I think you need to start bracing stuff. I welded mine and never bent a tube. And I put an anti-roll bar, and that helped mitigate a lot of stuff. But eventually, the 6,000 RPM launches broke the differential itself. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. We're talking about EV mandates potentially being taken away by Bobby Trump once he gets in there, gets rid of all the regulation that the Biden administration got in there. And maybe that'll make manufacturers, parts companies, aftermarket, the racing community get up on its feet again and be optimistic about the future, make parts, and you will start seeing potentially a resurgence on ICE vehicles and just the aftermarket performance and racing industry, as a whole. Also, he's got to gut the EPA. I got my defund the EPA shirt. I wear it as much as I can at the gym. I get asked about it all the time. And when people really want to know some shit about defunding the EPA, I know intimately the details. So hopefully the new guy that goes in there with a fine tooth comb and starts just getting rid of a bunch of regulation so that it doesn't thwart any kind of forward progress on certain industries that have no bearing on the actual environment like they say it does. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday morning for the Peasant Chat. Hopefully we can talk some shit then and hang out with the poor people, for about 200 of you, because not a lot of you get up early on a Sunday morning to talk some shit with your Theo Alex. Have a good night. I'll see you guys on Sunday. See ya.